Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is October 29th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. Check out the severe clear conditions across California. Maybe a little bit of valley fog here across some of the portions in Northern California out towards the coastline, and you can actually see some dust blowing out over the ocean as well across some of the desert areas out there. Also some strong winds starting up across Las Vegas out through the deserts and starting to blow across Southern California as we speak as well. We'll take a look at those details as we go through the video today. We'll take a look at the extended forecast as always as well, and we'll look at the Santa Ana winds here in a bit of detail also. As you can see on the windy map here, you can see these winds now flowing. This is real-time stuff there. You can see Santa Ana or San Diego down here, and you can see Las Vegas, some strong northerlies ripping down the area here. And look at some of the higher terrain out towards 29 Palms, Palm Springs out there. Some nice gusty winds and blowing dust out there. So heads up if you are out and about traveling. This is the current hazards. You can see we got wind advisory, we got high wind warnings, we got red flag warnings due to the fire danger out here. That includes a lot of the Bay Area and Northern California, and the wind advisories here are mainly for the higher terrain here across Central and Northern California shown there. And Eureka, California, pretty chilly overnight lows again tomorrow morning, but you can see all the way up to the coastline here, got down to the 30s this morning here. So heads up for that. You guys know what to do. Protect your plants and pets out there. Wind advisory, it does include the I-5 corridor here, but not the San Francisco Bay Area as much. Maybe some gusts up towards 30 miles per hour there, but mainly for the higher surrounding terrain. This is the Santa Ana winds. You can see Irvine, remember the last couple of days it was 52, 58, now it shows 62. So get an uptick in the winds there for Irvine. You can see San Bernardino winds are already gusting as we speak. We'll take a look at some raw observations in a minute. Ontario, Riverside, Joshua Tree, especially the terrain off to the west there. And you can see just north of California as well, which we'll look at in a slide here starting now. You can see Westlake, northward Santa Clarita out there, Pyramid Lake, some nice gusty winds. You can see if you're going across some of the valley areas, it's not going to be too windy up towards Bakersfield comparatively. And you cross over the higher terrain there on I-5 and you get really windy there towards Northridge, and then you get out towards the Los Angeles metro, it calms down again, and it starts to pick back up as you head down the coastline towards San Diego as we saw. Now look at the dangerous fire weather conditions here. Again, isolated gusts up to 70 miles per hour, low relative humidities. Watch out with your fire sources. Down trees, power outages are possible, and this is going to go all the way on in through Tuesday, and I'll show you some of the winds here in a moment and the timing of those. Here's the freezing conditions here. Check it out. Interior valleys mainly only 25 degrees, sun Monday and Tuesday here. So pretty chilly air, big Arctic air mass, what's driving these offshore winds, and it's also very chilly as well. Now look at the freeze warning even across portions of Arizona. It does include Prescott out there. Lows ranging from 27 to 32. Localized hard freeze there above 5,500 feet. So yeah, watch out for that. Does not include the Phoenix metropolitan area as you see. October 29th, 1965. Check it out. Heat wave. 71, cold snap, 74, big storm slid down the coast, brought some upper elevation snowfall and some water spouts and tornado activity to Southern California. So always something interesting when you look back into the past. 3-day weather outlook. This is just kind of showing that the areas up towards Reno, Truckee, South Tahoe, you're getting pretty chilly out there. These overnight lows are downright pretty darn cold. 10 degrees here again maybe this morning. Warming back up slightly as we go through tomorrow, and the gradual warm up does occur there with this very cold Arctic air mass. And you can see it reflected here. This is the European as of last night, that very chilly Arctic air associated with this high pressure here. And if you put that in motion, you can kind of see that sagging across the Great Basin. That's what's driving these offshore winds. And we're getting offshore winds all the way up through British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, California, and that's what's driving the Santa Ana winds as well. And then eventually, over the next day or two, this finally starts to push off to the east, and then we start to look at maybe some warmer, wetter systems approaching the west coast, which we're going to look at here in a moment. Taking a look at 925 millibars. So this is just off the surface, about 2,500 feet. You can see the offshore winds all the way from British Columbia through Washington, Oregon, California, and that's what's driving the Santa Ana winds and the strong northerly winds across the desert areas in Las Vegas. And you can see those really kick up as we go through the morning today. And as we go on in through tonight, you can see they still continue on across Southern California, relaxing across Northern California as we go on into tomorrow. But you can still see still blowing there across some of California. Get a little bit of a burst there again tomorrow night as the high pressure continues down. You can see it across Baja there as well. Some strong easterlies across portions of southwest Arizona there. Sorry about that. And then you can see finally starting to relax here as we go through the afternoon on Tuesday as that high pressure finally gets out of here. And I wanted to show you this as well. This is the NAM3 Camo high resolution model. You got the state of California, relative humidity. Put it into motion. Check out this very dry area. You can see the pulses of it just kind of moving off the coastline. That's why there's some dust showing up on the GOES 18 satellite coming out over the water and blowing dust across a lot of the area. Some very dry air with this very chilly, dry Arctic air mass taking up residence across the Intermountain West. Like one of the main characteristics of Arctic air is just how extremely dry it is. Now, just quickly here, this is some raw observation data. You can see Burbank is gusting up towards 37 knots. It's over 40 miles per hour. This is Magoo Point there, starting to gust now as well. And Ontario starting to gust up towards 40 miles per hour. Santa Ana, Orange County out there. San Bernardino and Las Vegas been gusty most of the morning as well. Nice little look at raw observation data there. But yeah, the winds are starting to kick up here, especially across Southern California now. Now, taking a look at the extent of this is yesterday's European run here. So we'll put it into motion. Big Arctic high, going to keep us dry for a few days. And then the westerlies come knocking again, start to move towards the west coast. You can see as we go towards next Wednesday night, Thursday, this next system tries to roll in. How far south will that get? And it's still 100 plus hours out, so we have a bit of time to look at it and trying to fine-tune some of those details. You can see atmospheric river type features slide into Northern California and Oregon. And then the European continues to bring some kind of a deep low pressure system towards Oregon, Washington. Could bring a strong frontal system down towards Central and Northern California as well, as systems continue on through the extent. It looks like a very active period here for a lot of the West Coast and maybe Central and Northern California. And again, we'll watch to see how far these fronts get south. We're looking a little bit far off into the future to get into any extreme detail. Looking at the GFS, I put this into motion also, and you can see these systems moving on in here. GFS not bringing as much activity down into California for the short term there. But then you can see an atmospheric river coming in as we go through early November. And then there's always something interesting as you go off into the future here on the GFS, showing some mountain snows here, and then it drops a deeper low pressure system towards the state of California here. The purely fantasy at that time range. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. This goes through November 11th here. Much of the West Coast above average. We start to bring that southwest warmer flow across the region. 8 to 14 day precipitation. How far south will that storm track sag here? You can see some below normal conditions expected across some of Southern California, Arizona, and portions of Nevada, but some above for Central and Northern California through the Pacific Northwest. And this continues to come out here as well with slight risk for heavy precip all the way down, almost including the Bay Area there. And then those deep lows moving towards the west coast of North America may clip Northern California. We'll continue to watch those day by day. We looked at this yesterday as well. This is a nice look at things here. You can just see how big the reservoirs are and just how big Shasta, Oroville, and Trinity Lake are versus some of the other ones out here. As you can see, some of these much smaller reservoirs out there. So you can see why it's so important to get these filled up. And Shasta, Oroville, a nice and above their historical averages here, and you can see the percent there as well of the capacities. Shasta about 70% right there, Oroville about 69% there also. But anyway, yeah, interesting stuff out there. Blowing dust. You got the Santa Ana winds for the next few days. Watch out. Let's not start any fires out there. We'll continue to watch the extended forecast here as well. Watch out for those overnight lows, especially across Interior Valley. It's going to get pretty chilly here over the next few nights as well, including portions of Southern California. So anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the videos here. I go back to work here for a couple of days. I will be working California flights and Mexico flights and whatnot. So if you are flying around California, I may be working one of your flights out here, and always fun. I enjoy my day job as well. So anyway, I hope you guys are liking the videos. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.